I'm walking down the street in Brooklyn, and someone put an old console out to be taken away by the trash or for someone to take because it was in okay condition, except it's raining this morning. And I recall when I was a teenager, maybe a little younger, that I had this white console. It was for my record player and my records that I made myself. And I was thinking, that was probably my first DIY project. We didn't have a lot of money, and I had this either hand-me-down or gently used record player. I must have been a teenager because I wasn't really buying albums until then. And I did have a job. But regardless, I built this wooden. I have scraps that I guess were sitting around in our garage and painted it white. And I had that thing for a long time. And it was awful. It was ugly. But it had purpose, utility. It functioned as it was intended. But I thought, that's probably my first DIY. Then I remembered when my sister and I decided to make an aquarium, and that's in quotes, for some baby frogs that we found. So we lived in the suburbs of DC, and we had a community center with a big pool, and next to the community center was this lake. It was called Willow Lake, so it had willow trees around it. But it had this little island part and a bridge over to the little island. And my sister and I were looking at the tadpoles in the water, and then realized there were a bunch of baby frogs that had grown legs, but some of them hadn't lost their tails yet. Anyway, in our brilliance, we decided we wanted to keep them as pets, so we scooped up a bunch of them and then took them home and thought, okay, well, we need to make them a place to live. So we were thinking, trying to determine what would be a good container that was aquarium-like in size. And sorry, I'm just walking up to 19th Street and I'm realizing they completely demolished an entire building. Oh my word. Is it the old warehouse? Oh my God, it was the old, no. Oh my God, it is. It was. It's such a beautiful old building. Oh my God. I'm gonna take a picture of it right now. Well, since I'm done with this, and then I'm gonna show you pictures of it. Oh my God, I can't believe they knocked it down. I'm in pain right now. That was really quick too because it's only been a month and a half since I've stood on this corner, and it was a massive building. Oh, I'm a little hair frozen. In any event, where was I? Oh yes, something that was the size of an aquarium. Well, in my brilliance, and just to level set, we were probably, I would say, 6 and 8. So I was like, well, I have something that's kind of perfect size because there was probably a dozen of these baby frogs. So I pulled the bottom drawer out of my dresser and dumped all the contents wherever, probably in my closet, and then trotted downstairs with this bottom drawer in my dresser, and we went outside and put dirt in it, put a little bowl of water in there, but realizing suddenly that the sides of this drawer, while they were good for the moment, we realized that the frogs would be able to jump a lot higher at some point. So we again started brainstorming, and I don't know why I was coming up with all the ideas. My sister was smart. She didn't want to get in trouble. Well, I was like, oh, well, they have to be able to breathe, so it can't be anything. And well, so what do? I go trotting back up the stairs to my room, open my window, pull the screen out of my window. I didn't know how to do that so young. I don't know. So I trotted back down the stairs with this screen from my window, and we placed it over the drawer. And voila, instant makeshift aquarium for our baby frog. Well, my mom noticed. She went in my room for some reason and was like, hey, where's the bottom drawer to your dresser? And then suddenly I realized how wrong my decisions were, my brilliant decisions. I was like, well, it's down in the backyard with a bunch of dirt, water, and frogs in it. Oh, and by the way, my screen is over it too. So we take her down to show her this aquarium that we had built, but like not thinking through, we realized we had ADHD, not until we were in our 50s, but going back, well, it was a lot of laughs and crying and all the things because it truly was like going through the stages of grief. But we got to our makeshift aquarium and all the frogs had died. We left the aquarium sitting on the AC unit, which is bad in and of itself, I'm thinking, because it was not able to ventilate properly with this big drawer in it. So we had the drawer sitting on this AC unit, which is directly in the sun, and they all fried. There was no shade for them because it was a screen and dirt and a bowl of water. So we learned a lot of lessons that day, but that was my first true DIY project. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my story. Until next time, bye.